Alrighty, good evening everybody and welcome back to Simtrax Broadcasting. We are here for the season finale here tonight of the Bandit Racing League. These guys are going to be super excited to get this job done and underway here as Jonathan Platt goes ahead and knocks down that number one position. But unfortunately, Jonathan Platt not number one out there on the points chase as he scrambles to grab as many points as possible. During the points chase, he's looking about 40 points behind Nick Nickerson, who, yes, will not be showing here tonight. He is unfortunately not around or available to be at his computer here tonight, so he is not able to race. So Nickerson having to take a provisional here to make sure he can stay ahead of Jonathan Platt here for the final race of the season. He scored 6 poles here on the season, and Jonathan Platt is going to match that with this pole he wins here tonight, sitting in that number one position. Moving on, if Platt can win, he'll actually tie him for the amount of wins as well. Nickerson sits at 7, Jonathan Platt at 6, and these guys have really been putting it on and putting it on there pretty hard to the other drivers that are scrambling to find as many points as they can possibly get. Another driver we're going to be taking a look at out here tonight is going to be Sean Britt out there in the number 5. Hasn't been able to compete at all this season. He'll have the opportunity out there in the number 5 to go ahead and give it a go here in the late models. But we talk a little bit about the late models here. This is the ending of the late models. We're going to be walking away from them and moving into the trucks for Season 16. Drivers are excited. I'm seeing people coming out of the woodwork out here in the Discord server about getting a super pumped up and amped up about the Daytona race that's going to be kicking off season number 16. You guys tuned in last week to hear that word straight from Kevin Foster himself about these guys getting ready to kick off the next season. Don't forget, at the end of the broadcast, I will have the upcoming schedule if you're interested in tuning in and checking out exactly what schedule that is going to be. See if it works out for you. Join up with the Bandit Racing League. We are looking for drivers actively. All right. Appreciate you guys out there already in the chat, lighting it up out there, getting pretty excited to see what all these drivers can do at this racetrack. This racetrack going to be a little bit different. No, hopefully not as messy as we saw last week. It did get a lot better, but we end up at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. This just under about 3/4 of a mile here. We'll be running them for 150 laps, 100% there on the fuel limit, and fortunately 3 sets of tires down in the pits. A slightly modified setup here, thanks to Bill Harkins and company out there to go ahead and straighten this car out and make it a little more tolerable. Jackson Knock definitely showing how much he enjoys it, as he is going to be starting, obviously, here in the top 10. Fortunately, they'll have one fast repair. I'll be your lead producer and commentator here tonight, and Dalton Kilroe for the final time here tonight is going to be sitting up in the crow's nest, watching down on top of everybody, making sure everybody's minding their P's and Q's. Hopefully you can keep an eye out there, as we've had some untold cautions out there. Right now, some drivers ended up spinning out there, and nothing was thrown. So that is going to do it here. Consider what we're looking at here, 17 races here for the night. Well, for the season, and it definitely closes up here, and I can't wait to see what all these guys have. As 17 races were complete, this is going to be the ending here of the season. Now, I'm probably going to say it about 100 times out here tonight, for hopefully it doesn't get too monotonous out here. And what we're going to be seeing, a couple of guys are heading down into the pits, and as the drivers kind of clump themselves together out there, they question a little bit how all this is going to do. Are there going to be other drivers that are going to be able to show up a little more consistently here in the upcoming run? Are any of them going to be able to have more to tell out there? Are they going to be able to have a good race here tonight? Will they get a sour taste in their mouth and possibly not return for the following season? We definitely hope that is not the case. I already see Robin Allen out there recommending that Victor Weaver floor it here tonight. He should have a good run, and I'm praying he does. Right now, I do want to see if I can grab a hold of the O2 out there of Nolan Gross, who hopefully is sitting at his sim right now. Nolan Gross, please tell me you got a copy on me here, brother. Oh my God, no.
What?
There you go. All right, Nolan, awesome. Hey, they got you on that push to talk, don't they?
No, I'm not. I heard sirens outside. I was checking in on that.
Bro. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen here at the track for some too many wrecks out here. What are you noticing about the track out here that's been a little dicey out there for some?
I'm helping out Logan tonight. That's why I'm not out on track. But what I've noticed is that being up against that wall, the track can be kind of slick. Since that racing line's right up against the wall, if you get a tiny bit loose, you might end up in the wall, kind of like at Darlington.
Really? Okay, so a lot of guys I've noticed. I watched Jackson knock out there and Victor Weaver actually racing side by side, and it almost seems like that wall tries to come up and bite you on the way out of these turns. How is tire wear being affected out there? Well, what are you kind of hearing through the radios?
I'm not really sure how tires are wearing. I did notice that what Logan did in qualifying is that he did a lap and pulled off and then did another lap. I don't know, maybe he messed up, maybe got damaged. Wasn't really paying attention, but it could be. This track is old. It is kind of abrasive a little bit, so we'll see how it goes.
All right, Nolan, thank you, buddy. All right, so we get a hold of Nolan Gross out there. I do want to grab a hold of Logan Murray, he says he is spotting for. Logan, you got a copy on me there?
I got a copy. How are you?
Doing all right, man. It has been a while since we've had a chat with you. I know you've been looking for your first win here of the season. Think you could be able to do in the late models? Or is it going to be the trucks we're going to be waiting?
Probably not going to win here in the late models, unfortunately. I've been trying so hard to break that 4th place finish barrier. I've been trying to get 3rd. I've been working my butt off, but it's been fun. Honestly, been a great year, great season in this late model. Now,
if there's anything you could change, obviously you would love to see if you could really, like you said, get a win here. Currently, you're sitting 5th in the points. I believe you're slightly within striking distance here of David Lakey, but I think he'd have to have a pretty rough night here tonight. But fortunately, there is still some opportunities out here. Has the Alan Kowicki scheme come into play?
Getting out of the Harry Gant car, getting out of that green car has definitely helped, and I've noticed, I'm watching replays back, you've noticed it too. Green and race cars just don't go well, and I wanted so desperately to get top 3 in that Bandit car, in that Gant car, but it just, after Irwindale, I've tossed it, probably to the Boise car here. Just another great scheme, and luck's really turned around in this scheme, so I'm hoping for a top 5. That's the end goal, but honestly, if I can just bring it home in one piece and finish ahead of Crockett, that'd be out as good as top 5 in my book. So.
Yep, I see you and Crockett going at it here in the Discord, kind of meeting up a little bit out there, kind of betting on who's going to finish in front of who. The Liquid Death Machine, unfortunately, seems to terminate himself here over the nights, but it has been quite a run here for you. Shall we see you in the trucks next season?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna be in the trucks. Still rocking the number 4. I've got a paint scheme cooking up here, making it myself. So hopefully that'll look really good on track. I still gotta finish it and make sure it actually looks as good as I want it to. But I will definitely be back in the number 4 truck.
Sweet. Logan, shout out time.
I gotta shout out my parents. Body and Balance, Matthew the Ozarks, Tim Brennan over at United Country West Plains, my teammates, everyone who's pushed me throughout my actual ARCA crewing career, college, and this on the side for fun. It has been a blast. Thank you to everybody who has supported me through these wild dreams in this league.
Awesome. Logan Murray, good luck to you out there, brother.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, Logan Murray getting ready to go here. About another minute and 15 seconds, and hopefully we'll have the opportunity to talk to somebody else out here in the chat and see what all we've got going on. I have a feeling we're going to talk to Mr. Platt and Josh Adams here later on. Curtis Yancey, don't want to mess up his mojo. Benjamin Lacey will be running here tonight, so I don't want to get him out of his groove. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how we do. I see out there Robin Allen saying the engines need to turn down a little bit. Actually, I've got guys really quiet here. They seem to be really far away from the mic, even on my end here. So it is pretty desperate out there to see a couple of these guys moving around. So we'll see what we can do here on our end and move from there. All right, let's get ready to go here. Drivers getting up here in just a moment. About another 30 seconds here in the warm-up as we take a look at Josh Billiter out there in the 99 machine. As he is slowly working his way down pit road to give a final check out there. And let these guys get a rip. Alrighty. Drivers getting ready to grid out here on the track. Once again, thank you guys for joining us here at Simtrax Broadcasting for the season finale. This is the battle for the crown by the Perfect Shine Auto Spa team getting ready to go out here. Kevin Foster going to have his work cut out for him tonight as he'll be starting in the second row. Let's go ahead and take a look at what our race is going to consist of here and how these guys are going to line up. Let's go ahead and give it a go. Jonathan Platt and Curtis Yancey, to be expected, setting 1 and 2. Kevin Foster sits third. Jackson Knock is fourth. Moving on to Bill Harkins, who sits fifth. Sean Britt, not bad for a third row start. He'll be starting on the outside. Logan Murray to the inside of row number 4. He'll be on the inside of David Lakey there. He's got to beat him here if he wants to move up just a little more. Victor Weaver starts 9th, next to Matt Crockett, who will be finishing out our top 10. Josh Billiter sits in 11th. Mr. Raider out there in 12th. Nicole Krazel, Josh Adams, and Benjamin Lacey look to be finishing out the remainder here of our field. And right now, Benjamin Lacey does start in the back half here. Logan Murray not getting fired off here. I'm a little nervous that his restart is going to be a little bit off. Right now, he did not take behind the wheel. That's going to be some trouble here for the number 4 that we just talked to get ready for this race. Not sure if Logan Murray is ready to go here, what exactly is going on. Right now, the J3 Gross Motorsports team is trying desperately to get that number 4 fired off here. Logan Murray, there he is. Trying to get the engine running here. Right now, he's got to hurry up before the pace car gets around him. Seems there may be a serious problem. So now we'll leave it up to race control to go ahead and get him straightened out here. Kelly Queel pretty happy that Kevin Foster will be starting in 3rd here. So this will be definitely exciting. This will be good. Pace car lights are off. Should be going around one more time. Jonathan Platt and Curtis Yancey getting ready to go at it. Sponsor here of the race is Clear Glow. Indications out there by Jonathan Platt. Out there getting lined up. Right now that 43 machine will have a good start. Haven't seen the 43 up here for quite some time. He's had some racing difficulties out there on the track. As Logan Murray looks like engine fires finally. Don't know if they're going to let him line up or if they're going to send him to the back of the line. Yep, back of the line for Logan Murray. So really tough run or tough start here at the beginning. Definitely hate to see how the rest of his race is going to go, but we're definitely going to be able to see it. So here we go. 150 laps. Lap number 1, here we go, underway. Already a couple slide jobs here around the outside. As you notice, Josh Billiter moves up 3. Quick move. Already making a little shift here from the 99 as he dives down toward the bottom very quickly. For the battle for the crown, 150. Goes ahead and gets the next lap started here. Right now as they shuffle up here just a little bit, Nicole Crazel working her hardest to get up a couple more positions. And she makes a quick slide in front of Josh Adams. Adams taking it really, really easy here this run. As Jonathan Platt continues to lead this race. Curtis Yancey sitting close behind though. As Yancey dives into that turn. Notice how close he gets to that 43. Almost nudges that rear bumper. Right as they get ready to go around that turn. I talked about Billiter once already. He's gained 3, now 4, looking for 5. You see Billiter working hard to the inside hill of Bill Harkins. Harkins shuts the door. Notice how Harkins didn't get up close to that wall when he didn't. He goes ahead and has Billiter check up. Great move. He has definitely one way to think ahead. Logan Murray will be starting this race a lap down, unfortunately. So even worse. And he's starting in the back, who will be a lap down. Scrubbed to the wall here. Looks like David Lakey is the one who suffers a little bit of right side damage. Blinking out as Benjamin Lacey starts to encroach. Benjamin Lacey out here in the Film in the Wild, number 7. Currently sitting in 12th as Adams takes a look to the inside. And takes 11th from him. Does Adams go ahead and try to get a 2-for-1 here? Adams on an awesome roll. Adams got his win there at Richmond for the Netcode Nationals 125. He put a lot of hard work in that race. He was definitely due, not only that, but the race before. He ended up getting the pole there at Stafford Motor Speedway. All calm in the front here so far. Platt, Yancey, Knock, Foster, and Sean Britt sit 1 through 5. Currently our top 5 separated by at least a second here. As Josh Adams finally tucks in. The back up to Kevin Foster. Foster currently lost a position here already. It's down to 4th. As he scrambles to get another position. Right now looking to get into the top 5. Back where he originally started. Bill Harkins looking here to the inside of the 5. Can't get it though, backs it up by about half a car length, pivots down toward below the bottom line. Is looking to see if he can get through. No dice though. He's going to dive bombing on in. Gets a fender in on the 5 of Sean Britt trying to make him move. This is the look from Bill Harkins' machine. Dives to the inside. You notice how he has to get hard on the brakes to get the 5 behind him here. Around he goes. Bill Harkins back into 5th. Right, currently Curtis Yancey only 0.2 of a second behind Jonathan Platt. Watching that 51 start trying to get a breath of fresh air down to the bottom. Stop choking that motor out here. Platt leading this one the same way he led the first race of the season from beginning to end back at Hickory on January 7th. We'll see if Platt can do it and go flag to flag for yet another win. being made out here. Taking a look, we should roll back here to Benjamin Lacey. As I say that, we end up under caution. I think our number 18 car's around. First caution out here of the night. The number 18 machine. Victor Weaver gets in some trouble here. Looked like he was up there racing with Benjamin Lacey. And then maybe some contact was made here. And Lacey into him. So we'll check in on Victor Weaver, see if Weaver does have to pit. See for any damage on the back end of that car. He does have a slight fold here. So I think it's a good call right now. Currently Victor Weaver going to head down into pit. See if he can straighten this thing out. Benjamin Lacey coming into pit as well. Doesn't appear to be suffering any damage on the right front. Maybe trying to offset pit here. Yep, right side tire's up. So Benjamin Lacey trying to see if he can do anything. With 16 laps run here in this competition. Maybe a fresh set of tires will help reset this car and slide him on through. See if he can jolt up about 6 positions and he'll be in better shape. Victor Weaver doing much of the same. Left side tires going on, putting him back down. Victor Weaver has to be careful about not going a lap down as Jonathan Platt seems to be rounding turn number 3. Out of 4 he goes. Victor Weaver leaving pit lane. Good timing there. Logan Murray will be our lucky dog around, so fortunately early caution does get him back onto the lead lap. Say a next culprit. Josh Adams doing a little bit of blinking here in the back. Hopefully he's able to slow down and correct whatever he's got going on there. David Lakey, though, does have to be rather excited about his season. Currently, out of the 13 top 10s, 4 of them were in the top 5. David Lakey having a heck of a run. I believe he is actually 3rd. I think 4th in points, but 3rd for the most amount of laps run. There's a nice little weird stat for you. Running 2,225 laps. That's impressive. Only 2 drivers have done more than that. Kevin Foster coming in 2nd with 2,235, only beating him by 10 laps. And then 100 laps more than that is Matt Crockett. All these guys started the races. Not all of them can finish. All right, Logan Murray trying to hurry up and get around. Definitely wants to scramble to get back to the pack here. Currently, this is us watching the number 4 coming out of the turn number 2. A nice little lap to heat up these tires. Gonna get ready to go here on the 43. Jonathan Platt. Here we go. Currently, Harkins looks like he's stuck to the outside, though. Right now, single file 1 through 2 and 3. Now 4 and 5. Finally get it. Sean Britt snuggles down into the 6th position. And we are watching, whoa, Sean Britt getting super close out there to Kevin Foster. Boy, wild ride here. Biggest mover here of the race does go to Josh Adams here so far. As currently Josh Adams is sitting there in the 8th position. Biller's moved up 4. As these guys go from the back, working their way to the front. Speaking of from back up to the way to the front, Logan Murray now onto the lead lap. Works his way to 12th. We'll double check on Bill Harkins here. If I'm not mistaken, that is Harkins going for the lead. Almost has it. Caution comes out as Bill Harkins makes a dive for the lead here. Caution flag comes out right as he makes this turn. I'll check when our caution flag is out. Now. Boy, that's close. Fender to fender with him here as the caution comes out. Unfortunately, one of our fastest drivers out there ends up spun around. And we'll double check and take a look at what happens to the number 99. Yep, Josh Adams just gets into him there. Whoa, what a dodge there as Benjamin Lacey wall rides it to get around. Have a little bit of time here as currently Benjamin Lacey and Billiter are working their way down into pits. This is the ride along with Benjamin Lacey. Notice right through the windshield what he sees. Here's the spin out. Oof. Was able to get out of the way there. So lucky dodge there by Benjamin Lacey. Unlucky because this is going to put him back in the 14th position. Billiter currently hanging down in pits here for a while. I am double checking. It does look like our caution laps were counting here at some point. Second caution here of the night for the Battle for the Crown 150. Do want to thank the Perfect Shine Auto Spa for joining on and supporting the league this season. Definitely one of those cars that is representing it. Is Kevin Foster out there in the number 8 machine. Our other Perfect Shine Auto Spa car is, I'm sure, sitting in the back waiting to go ahead and take his trophy here for the night. One of those things. We're getting... One of those things. These guys are all getting ready to go here. So right now... This does scrub it, though. Remember, Bill Harkins was gunning for the lead. I do not believe they counted the pass over Curtis Yancey. There's no pass here because he was unable to cross the line for that time. So we're going to see another Jonathan Platt restart here. Last time we made it about 4 laps since the last caution came out. We're ready to go for this one again. If we can get a better run, I think Bill Harkins is going to be happy to start behind Platt. He's going to be able to get a decent dive in here on Curtis Yancey, and he does. Side by side they go. Bill Harkins taking a shot here to the bottom. Oh yeah, gets into Platt. Harkins trying to ride him out. Great job. Harkins saves the car, the 43 car. Harkins, I guarantee you didn't mean to do that. That car just rode up on him. I think the tires weren't seated back in yet. Kelly Queel out there saying, Kevin, follow Bill to the front. I wouldn't do that now. See where this puts Bill Harkins up and see if it puts these guys back to the front. Jonathan Platt, I think, is radioing up here. He's a little agitated. Boy, Jonathan Platt, after he got so many wins here, he has definitely been struggling here the past few races, trying to get this back. So he struggles extremely hard to get back into winning positions. We haven't seen Jonathan Platt win since back on April 15th on tax day. And he won back at the Nashville Fairgrounds for the Honky Tonk 150. Since then, we've had 3 different winners. Stafford ended up with Nick Nickerson. Richmond, Josh Adams ended up winning. And congratulations once again to Jackson Knock for coming away with the one and only race this season he won there at Slinger Speedway. Boy, he did it in a commanding way. But Jackson Knock will be lining up here to the side of Curtis Yancey, as he has been up front since we have seen the 00 get back out onto the track. So the Knocksters pretty excited here on the outside. Very quiet out there in the chat, though. But Jackson Knock is able to have his opportunity here to gun for the lead again. Kevin Foster will be lining up behind our leader. Sean Britt will be starting in row number 2. Matt Crockett and Josh Adams for row number 3. David Lakey and Victor Weaver for row number 4. And Logan Murray, not bad after a lap down. He's up in 9th position. He'll be next to Mr. Raider, who is currently sitting in 10th. Great night here for the 17 machine. Team practice does make it perfect. JBL machine has been a couple laps down, struggling here to finish some races. And he'll be right close to Nicole Krazel, who's had much of the same luck. Jonathan Platt and Bill Harkins here in the back line, as it looks like Curtis Yancey was ready to go. We do have to go around one more time. There we go, Jason Knock, just here for the cheese. Yes. Yes, can never have too much cheese. I love it. All right, appreciate you guys hanging out here with us. We are struggling to get to our stage break here on lap number 70. But I assure you we will definitely get there. Jackson Knock doing his best. Platt impression here of burying that right front fender in him to not let him get away. Yancey a little slow on the restart here. This could cause Knock to have a heck of an opportunity here on the bottom. Once again, looking to regain the lead at another track. The 00 is going to have to wait just a little bit longer. As he falls back, Sean Britt's going to take the opportunity here, high side. See if he can take that Weathermaster machine on around. No can do, though. Kevin Foster trying to keep a peak and keep everything close. Here's Kevin Foster. Might be taking that line just a little bit higher than he wanted to. That's going to cause the trouble here. That's going to allow Josh Adams to slide underneath. Adams now moves up. That slides Foster back to 5th. One thing's for certain, Sean Britt definitely coming and showing up here tonight. Sean Britt when we do get between vehicles here. Changing makes and models that we see these guys run. Does struggle a little bit, but Sean Britt definitely showing he's still got the stuff here. Round he goes, second. Not bad. Can Sean Britt's tires hold out, though? As he slings there around the outside. Not bad. All right. 22 machine of Josh Adams still taking a peek here. As he dive bombs on in. There it goes. This is a shot for third. Can he get a little more? The 22 having a pivot. Not able to clear. Still trying to keep Jackson Knock under a lot of pressure here. Not as much pressure as Victor Weaver's feeling right now with Jonathan Platt sitting behind him. Currently Platt looking for the 18 here. 18 machine able to hold him off. Great job though. Boy, how would you like to have a mirror full of that? 43 sits on that high side. Looking to see if he can pivot on around. No can do. 43 takes a look to the inside now. We're riding along with Victor Weaver. Platt's getting super close. And Platt, good slide move. Victor Weaver going to have to squeeze down on the 43 just a little bit here to keep Platt from advancing. And he does. Oop, there's a knock to the side of the door. Victor Weaver trying to mind his P's and Q's there. Notice how he doesn't nudge the 43. I don't think anybody out here in the chat would have blamed him if he did bump into him. Platt goes ahead and makes contact and slides on around. That's going to move Victor Weaver back to the 10th position. Shift up front just a little bit here as everybody else is single filing out. Jonathan Platt is recovering a lot better than Bill Harkins currently. Right now Harkins still back in the 14th position. Right now I don't know if something's wrong here with the 12 or if Harkins is just trying to march this one off. Assuming we're going to be collecting a few more cautions out here. I would assume not. I think everybody getting single file out here is going to slow things down a lot more on the passing aspect. The rest, we will be churning through these laps as we get lap number 34 underway. Yancey Britt knocks at 1, 2, and 3. Josh Adams with a respectable 10 positions gained here tonight. He's up in 4th, and Kevin Foster falling back just a couple as he finishes out our top 5. So Kevin Foster falls back a couple. Gaining a couple is David Lakey. He's up to 6th. Matt Crockett, one more than that, sits 7th. Logan Murray scrambling after a lap down to start the race. He's sitting in 8th. As he's got to get around Matt Crockett to get his qualifying position back. Jonathan Platt up to 9th, but he's looking to see if he can take away 8th. And Victor Weaver currently sits in the 10th position. Boy, good pivot here by Platt. Gets around Logan Murray. Trying to get on Matt Crockett in a hurry. Currently, Matt Crockett here to the outside. The Liquid Death Machine, the number 15's in trouble here. 15 going to get pushed up to the wall, ricochet off, and Platt's going to get around him. Platt up to 7th. As Harkins, I believe, gets passed again here. Benjamin Lacey on around. All right, let's check back in here on our leaders. As Sean Britt having to defend now as Jackson Knock takes a look to the inside. This is originally how Britt got around Jackson Knock. David Lakey was under fire by Jonathan Platt. Platt up to now 6th. Now, I do have to say, Platt has a long way to go. I think he's got to make up about 2 seconds to find Kevin Foster. Foster trying to scurry away the best he can. Go ahead and keep that 43 as a speck in the mirror. We do have a stage, though, here in about 30 laps. Yes, 30 laps to go. And caution is out. Our Knockster is around. Put the cheese away before that becomes a flying projectile here. Fourth caution here of the night. Josh Adams get into another driver? Yes, he does. The 22 makes contact again. Ouch. Kevin Foster with a little insult to injury there. It seems that 22 is starting to cause a little bit of problems here. Had trouble back here with the 22 of Josh Adams getting into billiter here on the previous 2 cautions ago. And then once again here, looks like the 22 doing the same thing, diving here toward the bottom as he goes to fade up. Drivers start cutting down. So unfortunately, caught in this one is going to be Jackson Knock. Currently, he is down in pit road. 4 tires and fuel. Kevin Foster trying to get some of that damage fixed out on the front. Can't blame him. I want to try to see if he can square that thing away just a little bit here. As Curtis Yancey's working on around. Say if that's that big of a deal, Kevin Foster does have the opportunity to probably come back down pit again. As he scrambles to get all the way around. Foster catches up to the back of the field. Pace car lights are out. Drivers stacking back up. Curtis Yancey and Sean Britt will be side by side. Platt makes it back up to row number 2. He'll be next to Josh Adams. Logan Murray is 5th. David Lakey is 6th. Victor Weaver and Billiter sit in row number 4. And Mr. Raider Krazel are currently 9th and 10th. All right, Kevin Foster does not decide to come down pit road again to see if he can fix any more of that damage. So we get started here with Miss Krazel here. We'll be going around one more time as the Lady Chaos Machine has gone ahead and elected to take a restart here with us this go round. Alrighty, we'll take this moment here. Guys, if you are interested out here in racing with the Bandit Racing League, fire your sims up and get ready to go now. Season 16 is currently recruiting. We are ready to go. These guys are getting lined up here tonight in the late models for the last time, as this is the season finale here tonight. We're going to be being in the trucks here in about 3-4 weeks. Here we go. Krazel off to a go. Front end is definitely plowing here for Nicole Krazel. See, she's having to pedal it around that turn. Looking pretty rough. Let's check in on Sean Britt. Thank Nicole Krazel for the restart there. right now this is Sean Britt here to the outside of Adams. Adams getting in trouble here a lot. Looks like we've got some trouble back here with Benjamin Lacey as well. Looks crazy loose. Benjamin Lacey having to shuffle up as Crazel has got an engine problem. She's on the roll backwards. Close up toward the wall. Toward Nicole Crazel. Ooh, Nicole Crazel trying to get the bleeding to stop here. She gets in the final position. All the way in the back, Jonathan Platt looking for Curtis Yancey. Yancey now all of a sudden starting to step on the gas. Best lap of the night here for Curtis Yancey with a 22.46. That is about a tenth of a second faster than our pole sitter. And currently Yancey is matching times out there with Jonathan Platt. Last lap times will be on our board here. One thing that is for certain, expect to see Jackson Knock back in the picture. Most likely after the stage. Kelly Queel looks like she's rooting on Curtis Yancey out there. Yancey had a heck of a season here so far. Although he wasn't able to attend many races, he attended about half of them here. This will be his 9th race of the season tonight. That actually out of those 9 races, all of them were top 5s. So Yancey, fantastic job looking to see if he can come away with a win. Yancey has not won since February 11th, where he took the pole and ended up with the win. He had the opportunity there at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway back in March 25th of this year. Curtis Yancey ended up scoring on the pole for that race, but Brandon Action Jackson was able to take away the win there. See Street Boss 24 out there earlier here in the chat. Had a little something to say about our drivers out here. He was not excited about Jackson Knock not being Jackson Knock Racing. Unfortunately, Action Jackson would not be here. Let's check back in on Kevin Foster. Looks like he's getting ready to start working on Billiter here. This will be for the 11th position. Ooh. Billiter had a heck of a run at the beginning of this race. But I'm wondering, as this track starts to rubber up, if drivers are having some trouble here. And unfortunately, Kevin Foster's biggest loss here on the track. Scrambling, trying to come up with an answer here. What he's got going on out there. Kevin Foster has to make a little contact with Billiter to get around. And now it looks like Matt Crockett's going to try to take the same opportunity. Oof. Billiter into the wall. That's not going to help his cause. Now let's check in on Benjamin Lacey, who's all of a sudden opened it wide open here. Benjamin Lacey gaining 10, the same amount as Josh Adams. Both these guys are really on the roll. Both of them have gained 10 positions here tonight. That is huge for 4th and 5th positions now. Right now, still waiting to see if anybody has the opportunity to catch Yancey, as he is scrambling to get away here from Jonathan Platt. 15 laps left to go, though. Platt has already scored some points out there. With the top fan of Robin Allen. As a pit stop is being called here by Nicole Krazel. Damage to the right front. Goes ahead and brings it on down. 5 drivers here tonight have not pit at all. We can count Logan Murray in that if we want to for 6. Curtis Yancey has not pit. Sean Britt, Josh Adams. Looks like Logan Murray and David Lakey. We won't forget Mr. Rader back there in 14th has not pit here tonight. So all these guys still have 3 tires sitting down there in the pits. May have a little strategy here to play a little bit later on here in the race. One thing I can assure you, Curtis Yancey is going to be happy to finish this stage in the number 1 spot. I do not think he's going to be happy about giving up that amount of time and position out there on the track. Speaking of giving up time and position here comes Lacey looking inside to Adams. Not bad, Benjamin Lacey and Bill Harkins. Working their way up. Harkins almost back to his original qualifying position. He's currently sitting 6th. Black flag comes out here for Nicole Krazel. Having to return back down into pit road. And that's going to just about destroy a race here, unfortunately. So many of our Nicole Krazel fans out there for Lady Chaos Racing. Look like Nicole Krazel serves a drive-through penalty. Normally that happens when we speed out of pit road. All right, Mr. Rader now coming in. Unusual for the number 17 here. That's going to chop us down to 5 drivers who have not pit. Harkins now up to 5th. As he puts Josh Adams in the rear view. Adams, one of those drivers who didn't take tires. Harkins took some back on lap 22. He's going to try to use them to his advantage now. But I will say, coming into pit road 3 times so far tonight, Benjamin Lacey. And now he's sitting 4th. Some well-timed cautions, well-timed pit stops. He's definitely using this to his advantage. Up front he goes. Back to Jackson Knock here. Knock working here to the outside, Josh Adams. Wants to try to get this pass before the stage end here. It's about 3 laps away from our scheduled caution. Yancey out in front by a second now. Yancey feeling pretty comfortable with how he's running. Yancey running at least 1/10 of a second faster than Jonathan Platt. As Platt knows, there's 2.3 second gap over Benjamin Lacey is plenty enough. There's no sense in continuing to run down Curtis Yancey. Let's just go ahead and let him run his race. Pass being made back here by Kevin Foster. Jackson Knock was able to pass and overtake Josh Adams. This is Foster taking a look here. Both drivers fade up into the turn. As the caution comes out. Good job there by Curtis Yancey, scrambling to get across the line. It's going to be Kevin Foster. Wow, amazing job here. Thank you guys for hanging out with us here at Simtrax Broadcasting. Bringing you the final race here of season number 15 with these guys. And I do want to mention, you're thinking about driving, now's the time. Go ahead and get ready. Season 16 will be right around the corner. So heading into pits are all of our drivers for their 5-minute stop. That'll give us an opportunity to try to talk to some of our guys. Biggest mover here of the race was going out there to Billiter, but then Josh Adams began fading off. We had a ton of trouble out there from all of our drivers. Wow. Wow. What a race. So maybe we'll have the opportunity here to talk to Jackson Knock out there. Jackson, you got a copy on me?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's go ahead and stir the pot here a little bit. Involved in an early caution here, but we're able to bounce back. How do you feel about round number 2?
I don't even know. I was pretty fast in practice, but it seems like tire drop-off doesn't really do anything. The leaders were... The people who didn't pit were at like 27% on the right front, and I was at 74% on the right front, running my race normal, and I was running about the same lap times as them, and they were running about the same lap times as we were towards the start. So tire wear doesn't seem to really be a thing here. Not a lot of drop-off. So I'm not... I've been trying to save my tires a little bit, but I don't think it matters quite as much. So I'm going to run a little bit harder for part 2 here and see if we can get up to the front.
Attaboy, that's what I was hoping you were going to say. Since tire fall off doesn't matter. All right, well, we see a couple of other drivers here. They're looking pretty tough out there. Platt and Yancey seem to definitely have this one hooked up. Do you think there's a possibility of you going back-to-back here for race wins?
If Yancey and Platt take each other out, there's definitely a chance. I think I'm fast enough to get up there in third. I think I could probably sit in third. But I don't know if I'll be able to get around Jonathan and Curtis unless I figure something out in the second half here that I couldn't figure out in the first one.
All right, last question before I let you go here, Jackson. You took a pretty big lick there from Kevin Foster. How bad's the damage to the car?
Well, I actually took my faster pair, so it was really bad. My left front was dragging, could barely make the corner under caution, but so definitely had to take my faster pair. Now my car's brand new and clean, but obviously if we get involved in further said incidents, it's probably done for. But hey, not going for points, got no chance at the championship, so we're gonna go out there, we're gonna have fun. That's all we need to do.
Awesome. Shout out time.
Like to shout out my mom, my dad, my grandma, my grandpa, my girlfriend as well, and the sponsor on the hood, OxyClean, came about 50 years before the OxyClean you've heard of, or the reason why they have to spell theirs with an I and ours with a Y. Clean parts for use with oxygen, so anything from scuba gear to parts that go on spaceships. OxyClean. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Jackson. All right, Jackson not getting ready to go here. That's going to go ahead and put our hands full here with the man, the myth, the legend. Let's go ahead and talk to Bill Harkins in the number 12. Bill, what a race here so far, involved in a caution. We got drivers shuffling all over the track. You hang back in the back, you pit. What is the strategy in round number 2?
I didn't do it. Well, it wasn't me.
Wasn't me, huh?
So I don't have monitors right now. I have one monitor instead of four, and my one monitor is reduced to like a 6-inch by 8-inch square right now, or rectangle. And it still has the 3 views of the triple screens in it.
Whoa.
And I have no force feedback. And I am looking up at my fourth monitor instead of straight ahead. So let's just say Ray Charles is out there running this race right now.
Bill, you were able to fight your way almost back into the top 5 here.
Yeah, I know. I should be leading this race, in all honesty. This is a track that I don't give up on because it was actually my home track for an entire year. I was driving 6 hours there, 6 hours back for an entire season. So I know this track inside and out, and it races exactly like the real track does. So I should be up there leading. I think if I had view, I don't know. Tell me, did I get up into Platt? Because I have no clue.
Just a hair. Just a hair.
I only got a 2x from that scenario, so I didn't think it was like major.
No. And it seems to be the common theme here is a lot of guys are heading into the turn low, and as the fade up, some of the guys from the outside aren't fading up as much, and they're kind of hooking and both catching the guy from the bottom who's rotating up the track. So, Bill, you have got your work cut out for you here, buddy.
Here's what this proved to me. Platt can't drive because he lost it and I barely touched him, so he sucks.
Well, I was also looking at, I kind of gave you kudos for saving the guy's car. He was heading to the inside wall. You met up with him and helped straighten him back out before he took a header.
Right, and that was 100% intentional for me to do that because I thought if he keeps coming down, I'm going to end up wiped out. So I did stay into him to try to straighten him up.
Wow. All right. Well, Bill, good luck to you out there, man. Hopefully you can figure something out here, or hopefully I didn't hold you up.
No, you didn't hold me up. This is terrible.
Good Lord. Bill,
God
good luck to you out there,
track,
brother.
is all I can say. Yep, thanks.
Oh, boy. Well, guys, that should definitely open your eyes to what's going on out there. Bill Harkins has 4 monitors, triple wide view, but is running off his 4th monitor up top that's smushed all together. And this guy is still running top 5. That blows my mind right now. All right, we'll take a quick little moment of silence there for Bill Harkins and his hardware problems he's having. No force feedback or anything. So we'll get ready to get these drivers lined back up and head back out onto the track. As you can see, they are quite ready to go. Everybody kind of queuing up here real well. Yancey and Platt, Benjamin Lacey and Sean Britt, Bill Harkins and Jackson Knock, Logan Murray, Josh Adams, Kevin Foster, David Lakey. Looks like Victor Weaver and Matt Crockett are going to be following in the following row. I believe that was row number 6, I believe. Looking at row number 7 with Billiter and I believe Mr. Raider. Currently, they may give an earful here to the 99 for continuing to sit in his pit. Currently, only pit stops should last about 5 to 6 minutes. He spends over 7 minutes and 16 seconds down there, so they're going to keep an eye on that. Race control. That's all right. No problem. Last race of the season here, ladies and gentlemen. Second stage is about to get going here. We are waiting for our boys to get back onto the track. Yancey's going to lead them out there to do it. I know, I'm excited about next season as well. We're going to be heading to some of those speedways. We're going to be heading to super speedways. We're going to have a road course track. We're going to be in the trucks. We're going to be in some of my favorite sessions, the Crank It Up session. I'm going to have awesome cameras for you guys. It's going to be great. I'm excited to see what these guys can do back in the Craftsman trucks as they get back to a 4-speed machine. righty. Perfect shine battle for the crown at Lucas Oil Speedway here is about to resume. Jay out there saying, yay, trucks. Yep. There's no better time than now. Go ahead and start practicing. Get your trucks ready. Get your paints ready. Get your sponsors queued up. And get ready to race. We're kicking off in June, which is not that far away, ladies and gentlemen. That is 2 to 3 weeks out here. And then we will be back under green for season number 16. We said goodbye to the Bandit Racing League last season, and we say hello this season as we get ready to see Curtis Yancey might be puttering on here one more time. Did look like he was ready to go. It's not 100% sure here. We should have been under green. Maybe a shuffle up here toward the back. I think there's an issue here with Mr. Rader and Mr. Crazel. They are currently both down a handful of laps. Alrighty. Thank you guys for joining us here at Simtrax Broadcasting. We are bringing you the final stage start here of season 15. Here we go. Yancey, Platt. Will it be Sean Britt or will it be Benjamin Lacey? Let's see Benjamin Lacey show up. He's had a hard time out in and out of the league. As the number 7, the Film in the Wild machine, is working his way up. Now look how Bill Harkins is driving there. He is scrambling, doing everything he can and can't see. Boy, nothing better, worse than having a wide view where you can almost see everything. Squeezing it down into something smaller than a cereal box. It's not bad. Take a look at the number 12. A lot different line than what we're seeing everybody else doing out there on the track. He is diving below that yellow line in the turns, which is legal. He can make that turn. But also remember, Jackson Knock at the 00 sitting behind him. About to drive a little bit harder here. Does want to have that opportunity to slice through the field. Sean Britt is going to let them duke it out as he's up to 6th. Knock goes ahead and shaves down the right side of his car on the front stretch. As Bill Harkins securing 4th here, losing sight of the 00. As Harkins hanging on pretty tight. This is a look from Harkins' right side. Oof. Close to the 00. Right now, single file here for our top 3 drivers. Harkins making a line of his own here. He could only figure out where Jackson Knock is going to be. I think Harkins could rotate up the track just a little bit farther. What can't do here, though, for the 12. He does have about half a car length in front of him at the line. Dives it on into turn number 1. This now gives him the opportunity to battle against Benjamin Lacey here. Lacey doing a heck of a job following behind Jonathan Platt, which is behind our leader, Curtis Yancey. Give it to Knock, though. Although he is not giving up. Knock makes a good shot to the outside. He makes a full clear here. Notice how Knock gives a little punch to the gas to go ahead and pedal on around the number 12, setting Harkins back to 5th. 4th, 5th, and 6th back to their original qualifying positions here of the race. Benjamin Lacey up 12 here for the night, sitting in 3rd. Definitely hard charger of the race here. Unfortunately, our biggest loser still goes to Kevin Foster, who's holding in 10th. See what in the world we got going on out here. Jay out there saying, I like Bivens red paint. Bivens. Can't talk about playoffs. Anyway. Victor Weaver once again working on trying to get a top 10 finish here. Victor Weaver has had some opportunities here. He's currently sitting 7th in the points. We're going to see if he can get his 7th top 10 here of the season. He's got to pass David Lakey, though. Fortunately, he's got plenty of time to do it. 73 laps to get it done. For our 10th spot, it shows he's got Lakey here, but just for a hair. I think he'll have some turn exit speed, though, as he's going to battle him here into turn number 3. Currently, Victor Weaver trying to see if he can find a groove here. Lakey is finding some success here on that outside line, though. Getting nice and close. Victor Weaver can't rotate up. Lakey going to hold him there. Fortunately, great job there by David Lakey. Lakey slices underneath. He wants that position back. Yeah, there you go, Jay. Lacey's machine. Yep, Benjamin Lacey in the Film on the Wild car, Real Earth Films, is making it happen here as he has been charging forward all race. I'd like to give a personal thank you out there to Benjamin Lacey for showing up for tonight's race. He's quite busy outside of work here. Prior obligation is very difficult. He is able to take care of out there. So Benjamin Lacey able to bless us with his presence out here. I would love to see Benjamin Lacey, Nickerson, Platt, Yancey, Action, Jackson, Knock. I mean, we got a ton of strong drivers here in the front. Watch these guys try to take each other out here. They definitely make it work. Currently, notice these guys almost seem at a stalemate out here. Time's almost identical. Yancey last time 22:73. Platt is 22:78. 22:77 run by Benjamin Lacey. We ride along here with the number 7. You can see he's starting to try his luck here with the roll out of the turns. Now Lacey is finding some success. He's still faster than the 2 guys in front of him right now. Platt is shutting that door. Right now Lacey knows it's almost suicide to get caught on the outside. Whoa. As you see currently on the edge of our screen, Bill Harkins goes up there and almost takes out Jackson Knock. That's all right. Harkin's going to hang back a little bit. Top 5, he can still probably be fairly happy, although Bill Harkins says he should have the win here. You know, poor Bill Harkins, he's had 6 top 10s, not a single top 5 here. Is unable to get it. That's just pretty unbelievable. To get up front and not be able to nail it down here. Here we go. Here we go. Lacey's been setting up that 43 for some time. So the 2 battle side by side. This is going to give Jackson Knock some time. Right now, I guarantee you Lacey would love to throw a banana out the window and slip Knock up. As Knock, it might be getting in Benjamin Lacey's way, trying to aim for a shot underneath the 43 here. Same way Bill Harkins is doing to the 00. Right now, Knock taking a look back off the 00 machine. There he is. There's Bill Harkins. Yeah, Harkins wants that position. He's aiming for it. If Harkins can go ahead and finish with top 5 here, boy, I think that would be something. That'd definitely be something. Looking for a couple other battles out here on the track. Nobody even close than these 2 guys right here. they continued to charge. Now, as Benjamin Lacey applied some pressure here to Jonathan Platt, Platt realizes he's got to go ahead and pass Yancey before the 7 can get stronger and get around him here. Yancey scrambling to stay in front, watching his times. 22:81, 83, and 84. Times of our guys in the front. Jonathan Platt, no questions asked there. He dives in. Takes that number 1 spot. Benjamin Lacey, if he wants a chance to win this, he's got to make this past this turn. Got to get around Yancey here. The 7 able to pivot. 3/4 of his car clear. Does he have the whole thing? Not yet. Currently, this is giving Platt plenty of time here to start stretching out this lead if he can. Lacey trying to slide up, make a gap. He does. Great job here. Guys moving within 1/4 of a car here with any sort of clearance. Curtis Yancey bowing out here as he goes from the lead to 3rd. Jackson Knock getting ready to knock him out of a podium position here. Currently, right now, all the drivers on the top 5 look like a swarm of piranhas here on Curtis Yancey in his lead. Platt scurrying away, though. This does give him the opportunity to get away from Benjamin Lacey. He's only got him by about 0.2 of a second. As he's going to be hoping those Real Earth Films are going to take a video of him out here. Right now, this guy's doing some wild driving. Currently as making it take a look here. That's how Benjamin Lacey, here's that rotate out of that turn. I think Platt's what's making Platt a little bit nervous here. And Benjamin Lacey is looking insanely strong. Not bad for a guy starting in dead last. Benjamin Lacey will kind of keep tabs on him as we rotate through the field here just a little bit. The 7 trying to set him up, but is not going to have any luck. As we rotate back here to Kevin Foster. This is currently Kevin Foster looking for the 9th position. Victor Weaver fighting him back. Does an excellent job there. Benjamin Lacey taking a look. Lacey to the inside. Back to our leaders. As right now, Platt might start diving in a little bit early here to see if he can pinch Lacey. Lacey into the 43. Here we go. Brand new leader here. Lacey to the line. Excellent job here by Benjamin Lacey. Has he fried that right front tire off? Look at Platt dive bomb here to the inside. I don't know about you guys, you can almost feel the panic on the 43 right now. As Platt, his lead is short-lived. Currently only able to lead, showing about 34 laps here from the 43. As 85 were led by Curtis Yancey. So now we will be under the Benjamin Lacey regime here in the front. As everybody follow the leader. Currently with no cautions here, 50 laps left to go. Drivers are pretty excited about this. Everybody thought there might be a short pitting opportunity. That does not appear to be the case. I don't know about you guys, but I would be super excited out here to see this go green to the end. I think that'd be an excellent finish here. The Bandit Racing League, especially with how they go with their green color. Battle for the Crown 150. This one is getting led up to Benjamin Lacey winning this one. If he can keep this down. Right now he is setting record pace. Still 1/10 of a second faster. Finally is able to release the horses and away he goes. Jonathan Platt trying to hold him within half a second, checking back in on Bill Harkins. Harkins going to go ahead and pit. That's going to slide Sean Britt back up to the 5th position. Josh Adams currently holding in 6th. Logan Murray back up to 7th. Logan Murray in the Alwyn Kowicki cars currently sitting in 7th. Victor Weaver is 8th. Kevin Foster 9th. David Lakey rounding out our top 10. Foster trying to come up with something out there to see if he can make up this almost 7.5 second deficit to our leaders. And now I think if we can get a perfect shot in Auto Spot car in the top 3, Nickerson would be pretty ecstatic. See him be able to obtain to get back up there. Possibility we may see Clutch Automotive re-sign back on with these guys here at the Bandit Racing League for season number 16. Hopefully Clearload Communications is able to sign on as well. LAT Racing Oils is another. Let's see all these boys wind back up, get back in it. Surgery Steve obviously keeping tabs on Victor Weaver out there. Weaver is 8th. And you are correct. Looks like Bill out there in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. He now has 0 monitors. So it doesn't stop for Bill Harkins. At least the guy was able to make it to his pit box here. Surgeon Steve, I was just talking about you keeping tabs on Victor Weaver out there. Seeing exactly where he is. Currently, yes, he is 8th. Currently, Kevin Foster, I believe, is starting to apply some pressure here as we come up on a lapped car here of Nicole Krazel. Is he able to lead this race, though, but only out by half a second? Good question. Lacey hanging back, though. So I see our buddies down here with the 937 racing team. Mr. Rader, Josh Adams, and Victor Weaver out there on that team. The boys trying to rally up and work their way to the front. Mr. Rader currently sitting in 13th. He's taken by, I believe, about 3 laps down. Deontay Rader. Excuse me, 2 laps down. Victor Weaver currently sitting in 8th. Josh Adams hanging out in the 6th position. We'll see if anybody's got a shot here. Guys just ticking the laps off here as we go. Bill out there, almost doing a GoFundMe out there in my chat, requesting a graphics card and 3 new monitors. Oof. Jackson knock into the wall there a little bit. Fantastic race here so far, guys. Go ahead and take a little bit of this time. We'll hang back here for just a little bit and wait for these guys to start winding down a couple of these laps, and we'll get ready here in just a moment to see these guys run it out to the end. I got a bad feeling right now that the number 7 is going to be in some trouble here. Jonathan Platt starting to apply some pressure. Back. You guys are right. I'm sure you guys noticed as we ran along with Benjamin Lacey and Jonathan Platt, both of them starting to having to clutch these cars in. They are running out of fuel. 27 laps left to go. Will they have enough to make it to the end? Right now, Lacey had been thinking about that a long time before Jonathan Platt was. Benjamin Lacey now starting to scurry away. He's out by 1.2 seconds. This will allow Benjamin Lacey to clutch that thing just a little bit earlier before he has to fire it back up. Pretty impressive here to start that lap savings, because they are thinking this may go green to the end. If we end up under caution, though, that's going to take everything and throw it out the window. Expect to see pit stops. Who will put just enough gas to make it? Possibly only another 5 gallons is required to make it to the end. That's as much as you'll see being put on. Tires do take a good chunk of time here in the late models. Righty, we break under our 25 lap mark. We scramble to make it to the end here. Who's going to have enough fuel to do it? Sean Britt saving any fuel. This is Sean Britt sliding underneath of Jackson Knock here. I'll go ahead and be the battle for fourth. Looks like Sean Britt's going to easily have this. I think Jackson Knock is trying to fuel save here a bit. So maybe be able to stay behind the number 5. Try to draft him for a little bit. Might be of some assistance. Meatball flag divvied out to Matt Crockett there in the back. Remember, the goal for tonight for Logan Murray was just to finish in front of the Liquid Death Machine. And maybe a possibility of number 15 may have blown the right front tire off. Matt Crockett probably down on the rim here as he puts a lot of abuse to his tires each and every race. Has to get a set of tires on. Matt Crockett out of pits. $18 laps left to go here in the stage. And the remainder here of the season. Anybody looking close? Kevin Foster still seems to be following along here with Victor Weaver. Unfortunately, 23 second lap being run by our leaders. Kevin Foster's off by about 12 and a half, almost 13. 17 laps left to go here. Right front tire and right rear tire abuse heavy tonight. Fuel savings now at the top of their list. And Benjamin Lacey's got a nice, comfortable lead here. 1.7 seconds out front of Jonathan Platt. And Lacey looking to get his only win here of the year. And that would be if he can get it out there. Right now, Benjamin Lacey currently sitting 22nd here in the points. Out of the 3 top 10s, 2 of them are top 5s. He is looking away. See if he can come away with this win. 15 to go, 14 at the line. Benjamin Lacey still stretching out that lead, 2.2 seconds now. Able to coast into these turns. Right now, Kelly Queel is hoping Kevin Foster will be able to kick in an overdrive here and fight his way to the front. Adams and Knock. It's 2 side by side. This is for 5th. Adams has it. Cole Crazel on some fresh tires since lap 114. Might have the opportunity to make a pass here. Not bad, nice easy pass there. We're up to Curtis Yancey. I'm sure he may be under fire there by Sean Britt. 0.3 of a second behind him. This has been a wild season here so far. Tons of drivers having opportunities here to win, but obviously there were 2 of the strongest ones out here. These 2 drivers won over 3/4 of the races here. That's going to go off to Jonathan Platt and Nick Nickerson. Nickerson is not on the track here tonight. 9 laps left before he is able to claim his championship. Yancey kicking into high gear here as Jonathan Platt has lost a ton of speed. Something tells me that 43 just ain't got it under the hood here tonight. 3.2 seconds out in front. Heck of a race, not bad. So Yancey and Sean Britt are going at it. We may have 3 wide here. If we're not careful. Here's Yancey. Yancey up in the Platte. A little bit of contact made. The 5 of Sean Britt giving a nudge to the 43. All these guys that pit back on the same lap. Lap number 71. This is the last time they were down to meet their crew. Alrighty, 5 laps left to go here. Benjamin Lacey, Jonathan Platt, Sean Britt, Curtis Yancey, Josh Adams, Logan Murray, Kevin Foster, Jackson Knock, Victor Weaver, and David Lakey. Our drivers on the lead lap and in the top 10 as they continue turning around this track. Lacey ever so close. I have seen guys lose it on the final lap. Benjamin Lacey trying to see if he can stretch that fuel just a little bit farther. 4.5 seconds out front as Yancey and Platt are going for it for second. The more these guys battle, the farther Lacey pulls away here. Notice how they're having to pedal it. There it is. Sean Britt in the back of the 43. 43, I think, just ran out of fuel. Jonathan Platt may be out of gas here. Platt heading on down into pit road. Barely under its own power. Benjamin Lacey sits in the number 1 spot. Benjamin Lacey half a lap away from winning this one. Great job here by Benjamin Lacey, dead last to number 1 on the chart. He's got it. Excellent job. That gives us 5 different winners over the last 5 races. Not bad, especially when we watch the beginning of the season. Start with Jonathan Platt winning 5 in a row. Then Nick Nickerson winning 5 in a row. And then we got that all broken up after that. Excuse me, Platt won the first 5, then broken by Yancey on race number 6. Then after that, 5 were won by Nick Nickerson. Then it got broken up by Brandon Jackson. Then it started the Nickerson-Jonathan Platt switcheroo. Great job here. It has been a long time since we've seen Benjamin Lacey back into the winner's circle here. Excellent job. Huge shout out to our other drivers out there, especially the ones being mentioned out there in the chat. Kevin Foster finishing out there in 6th. Victor Weaver had a 7th place finish here tonight. Hambone out there, excited to see next season. It is not that far away. It's closer than you think. Wow, what a race. What a race here so far. And what an ending to the season. This actually went a lot better than I thought it was going to go. And hopefully we'll get a small little chat from our drivers here in the top 3. Sean Britt, talk to me. What a race this was here, buddy.
Yeah. I was first race coming back after taking a break from iRacing. I was not expecting this at all.
What a race it was. You know, battling back and forth. You did have some time in the light up front. You did have a little bit of falling back, but you were able to boomerang back and get a third place finish here. This has got to feel real good, especially leaving season 15 behind and getting ready for season 16 upcoming.
Yeah. I'm speechless, really. I really was happy of how I ran. At that last bit, I kind of felt like I might have deserved second, but with the whole gridlock thing that all three of us were having, I can't blame of how it ended up. I mean, I'll take podium. I'll take third any day of the week.
Awesome. Last question before I get your shout-outs. How close were you on fuel?
I was going to have about half a lap. I almost a lap of fuel after we crossed the finish line. So I would have been able to do a quick burnout if I did win.
All right, Sean. Go ahead and give me a shout-outs here, bud.
Wanted to go and thank Weathermaster, LAT Racing Oils, Apex Sim Racing. Want to thank you two in the booth, and I want to thank Kevin and Bill for running Bandit and everyone else behind the scenes helped make this happen.
All right, Sean Britt, congratulations, buddy. Glad to see you're back. I think a little hiatus away from here does some people pretty good, and apparently it worked very well for you tonight. Can't wait to see what you got for us, man. Spidey senses tell me I'll see you in season 16, but we're back to super speedways, baby. Let's get ready. Good luck to you, Sean.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Bean Britt, that's going to move us to our second place finisher here. Started second, finished second. Curtis, what a run out here tonight, dude. Tons of battling out here on the track. You led a ton of laps out there, but just didn't have enough to finish off here at the end.
Yeah, unfortunately not. Burned the right front tire off of it on that long run. Didn't save enough gas early in the run, so I had to start saving around 40, 50 laps to go, and barely saved enough. I think I had like half a lap once we crossed the line. But yeah, it was a fun race. You know, it's a multi-group track. You can run top, middle, bottom, kind of make everything work. We saw Bill ripping the bottom, making up spots. Generally, everyone running, riding is just going to be there in the middle, but you got those options if you want to be aggressive.
Yeah, no kidding. And talk about aggressive. We had a couple of drivers that shot up from the back. Billiter being one of them in the 99 machine. He ended up getting a ton of speed. And Josh Adams as well, the 22 that you battled with a little bit out there. Now, Curtis, we had some trouble out there on the track. Things happening behind you. But how about the restarts? Everything handled out okay out there?
Oh yeah. Restarts are all good. Me and Jonathan work pretty well together. Kind of figuring out how we're restarting each other. Kind of figuring out when he's going in the box, when I'm going in the box, and I think us two worked pretty good to get back out 1-2 and kind of just control the race from there on towards the end. And then obviously, what's his name, Benjamin, kind of spoiled that party.
He opened it up, buddy. That was speed I've never seen in a while, and definitely a heck of a return. But speaking of return, before I get your shout-outs here, Curtis, we're part-time this season. Are we looking part-time next season?
Unfortunately, the way work's scheduling out, be on the night shift, 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. So I'll try to make every other Wednesday, but I'll be there for quite a bit.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I hate to hear that, man. Trucks, super speedways, road courses, man. This should be definitely open it up, and I think we're going to have a lot of older drivers coming back out of the woods here and giving this a go. Curtis, go and give me a shout out here, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate you broadcasting, all the fans watching at home, everyone driving, everyone spectating, all the drivers really. Special thanks to Bill, Kevin, everyone behind the scenes that put this on, and what's going to put on a good season next year.
All righty. Curtis, congratulations, man. What a run you had this season, and I can't wait to see what you can do when we put you in the pickup.
Sounds good. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yep, not a problem. All right, now we move on to our winner here of Benjamin Lacey. I'm going to go ahead and do half of his shout-outs as we go. The Real Earth Films, Filming the Wild Machine, the number 7. Been a long, long time since we've seen you back in the winner's circle here. Benjamin, congratulations, man. Tell me about this race.
Yeah, it was a fun one. Started out in the back. Kind of didn't want to get involved in a bunch of junk up there up front, considering I'm not too familiar with the car. I love the track though; it's a fun track, and I think there was a spin that happened where no caution came out, and I was the lucky recipient of going around, and that kind of gave me a free track, and I kind of learned what the track was wanting, and was able to figure it out and drive my way up to the front after that second caution after that one, and yeah, I was able to make the pass on Jonathan. He didn't make it easy by any means, but that was a lot of fun battling with him and Curtis up there, and was able to pull away with a win with a little bit of fuel save.
I was going to say, can you blame him at all? I mean, he's sitting second in the points. He's battling, trying to see if he can reel, try to reel Nick, who wasn't able to show up here tonight. What a wild run we're looking at here. But we see a ton of things happening out here on the track. You hang back, you start dead last, but you finish in the number 1 position, man. What an excellent job. You know, Ben, I rode with you there for a little bit. We noticed that fuel savings there. How close were you?
For a little bit I wasn't good, and then we had about an extra three to four laps there toward the end. So we had enough to do a burnout for sure. And yeah, I probably could have pushed it a little bit harder, but wasn't sure where that right front was at. And I was like, I don't want to blow that thing out. So we still just kind of took it easy as we kind of had a bit of a gap.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, you had a little bit of a gap. You saved, and then it looked like you stopped pushing that clutch in, and started taking off there. It went from a second and a half gap to over a 4.85 is what I'm showing is your win separation between you and Curtis Yancey. So what a heck of a run. Ben, I'm hoping to see you back in the trucks, man. I know you got a lot of stuff going on out there, and I hope to see you return. What is the possibility?
I think it's going to be a lot more present for this next season. Was long story short, Dad was battling some health stuff, so just trying to be supportive there. And shout out to you, Dad, if you're watching. And so up on the mend there. So we should be able to dedicate a little bit more time coming back for a season. Was it 16?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so should be able to come back out and around a little bit more for that.
All right, Ben, go and give me a shout out there, buddy.
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to thank my dad, and then obviously my wife for letting me run this. And then Real Earth Films, Filming the Wild, Filming the Wild's YouTube, so youtube.com/Filming the Wild. Check them out, give them some follows, give them a like. That'd be awesome. And all y'all who are watching, thanks for tuning in and watching. Consistently, you guys are awesome, and all the admins of the league. And Patrick, always sit there and I don't miss a broadcast, even though I may not be able to race.
Oh, really? Oh, uh-oh. That means you heard me shout you out a couple times in a couple races. Oopsie.
Yes, I did.
All right, Ben. I appreciate you, buddy. Congratulations on coming back to the winner's circle. And when we get you back in the Craftsman truck, man, I'll be definitely rooting you on from up here.
Appreciate it.
All right, everybody. That is Benjamin Lacey there. And try to be as impartial as possible out there when we talk about that. But I do want to give a quick talk here to our winner here of the season. Nick Nickerson ends up winning with points lead. And just out of spite, he's making sure to come to make sure he's here to give us some words of wisdom.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Yeah, Nick, you like how I brought you in on that one?
Yeah.
All right.
I was eating, so I was worried that I wasn't be able to finish before you started talking, but we're good.
All right. Well, here we are in a hotel room, and you were getting ready to take the season 15 championship. How many does that make now here, Nick?
I think that's number 4. Yeah, pretty sure it's number 4.
Sweet. So number 4, and
Yeah.
you take a late model championship this time. Do you think? Well, okay. Let's ask a couple of quick questions here, and then I'll ask you about next season. What was the hardest part about this season?
Man, honestly, I mean, these cars, like, it took me a few races to really like understand how to drive these cars. They're such a blast to race. It kind of sucks that it's so hard to pass on short track. So that's just short track racing. But um, other than that, man, they're just so much fun to drive. And but it did take me probably 4 or 5 races to really understand how to drive them and like to save the tires. And there was a point in time when I just started making like pretty large gambles and they were paying off back to back, which was kind of nice. That kind of helped to build some momentum about halfway through the season. But kind of disappointed we're not running them again or going to like the super late model or something. But it is what it is. The trucks are always a blast to drive, and looking forward to next season for sure.
Yeah, I would say I think the reason for the car change is trying to gather some of our older guys back. I'm hoping drivers like Eddie Hagge, Benjamin Lacey, which we saw here tonight, will have the opportunity to return. And I would say surround you with people that you're used to driving around here, Nick. I think a couple of new bodies out here. Ones like Josh Adams that we're noticing are starting to really open it up. Billiter, if he can just keep his car in one piece, I think he could be a danger out there on some of these tracks. But, we kind of
Absolutely.
look at, you're talking about fixing the car and learning how to drive it. Well, when Jonathan Platt takes the first 5, Yancey breaks it up on number 6, and then you go on a solid 5-race run after that. I mean, I would say lack of caution's definitely helped.
That too, and the lack of Jonathan Platt there helped out
Yeah.
a lot too. I don't know, man. It was a very interesting season. A few ups and downs. I think more ups than downs for sure. A lot of us, like at least the core people that were here every race, every week, just had a blast, whether you're winning or finishing 6th or 7th. It was just such a fun season. But these trucks, man, like, the trucks, you can't go wrong with the trucks. As long as we're not, I don't know what the schedule is. I don't know if Bill posted the schedule. I've been busy the past couple of weeks, but as long as we're
Totally.
not running a bunch of 1.5-mile, 2-mile, where it's basically a plate racing at 1.5 miles with these trucks, as long as we're doing like smaller tracks or whatever, I think it'll be a lot of fun for whoever wants to join the league.
Joke's on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, at least I think there's a road
Yeah.
course in there for you. I think you enjoy those pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, actually, you're right. I did see the schedule. Yeah, there's one road course. There's maybe 2. One in the
One.
regular season, one in the playoffs.
Yep. 1.
Yeah.
So
Yep, that's fun.
we'll see. I think it's written in pen, but we still got white out. There may be a couple of extra changes. Nick, boy, what an awesome run here, man. Once again, I get to see you come away with another championship. This has been just a heck of a run you've really been putting together here, Nick, and we'll see if you can go back to back. Last question before I let you go. What's the most exciting thing you're hoping here for in season 16?
It's been a while since we drove the trucks, so like I know they've had a pretty decent overhaul. So I'm hoping that they race really well. I know before, like if you barely touched or grazed the wall, that you get damage and like lose some aero. I'm hoping they fixed that. I think they did, but dude, I'm just excited to hopefully maybe kind of rebuild Bandit back to what it was, and hopefully we can bring some of those old names back that maybe didn't race the late models because they weren't interested in short track racing. But let's just make Bandit what it was a couple seasons ago, and we'll see what we can do.
30 drivers. I missed that. 30
Yeah.
drivers. All right, Nick. That's 30 different possible winners there. Nick, congratulations
Yeah.
once again on a championship there, buddy. I can't wait to see what
Appreciate
you got
it.
coming your way, buddy.
Heck yeah, man. I'll talk to you in a few weeks for sure.
Oh yeah. All right, everybody. That is Nick Nickerson. Excellent job by him coming away with the season win. This dude made it happen, and the consistency is what took over. And it also doesn't help that he ended up with a ton of wins this season either. But boy, oh boy, what a excellent race. All right, guys, there's a lot of stuff happening. Jay out there saying there's a Ram now. Yes, there is, but I am unsure exactly when that is going to be put into play out there with the with iRacing, but we'll keep that in mind. All right, let me go ahead and see if we can go ahead and line something up here. Here is our banner, guys. If you guys are looking to join here, the Bandit Racing League for Season 16. 21 races on Wednesday nights, no league fees. I've got to admit, that's hard to find. the no league fees part, that is for sure. Also, I will be broadcasting that season as well. Stella will be returning back to the booth. She will be back up here with me for season 16, so that should be pretty exciting. Also, they're giving away a championship trophy and a ring. And check out all the new Geezer Authentic stuff on their app as well. So that is going to be excellent. 9 p.m., piece of cake, guys. Should be able to make that. And it starts on June 17th. So, yep, we're looking at about a month here before we kick off and get back to it. But that's going to do it for us here for the final time in Season 15. Simtrax Broadcasting signing off. Be well, be safe, be kind. We'll see all you guys next time.